Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Today I'm going to put a watercolor wash as a background to this frontispiece for my Christmas journal. And to do that, I've got my water painters, and the water painters come in a pack of 3, and I'm just going to grab the medium-sized one. It's a brush that has some water in the reservoir of the handle, and I've got some inks on my palette here. So I've just got some red, yellow, and blue, and these are the refillers for the stamp pad. So these are the inks that come in a little bottle that looks like this. All right, and all of these supplies I will have listed in the comments below or in the description after I do the video. And the other thing I want is my spritzer. So I've got just a handy little spritzer here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give my paper a light spritz. Okay, so there it is. Get that straight on here so you can see it. There we go. And I'm going to begin with a little bit of a warm, kind of a peachy glow at the tree line. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of color in there, very light, keeping the edges wet. And then I'm going to add a little more pink. Let that blend together. And let's see. Grabbing some blue now. There we go. Just want to make sure that this is moist enough for the ink to move. And I'm making a kind of vignette, meaning that there are no edges. All right, so that'll do it for my sky. Maybe a little more up here. Now some of this is going to be under the die cuts that I add to the frontispiece. And for somebody who may be new here, I'm decorating a frontispiece for my Christmas journal, which I will be assembling on Saturday, on Paper Crafting Saturday at 12 noon right here. So if you'd like to see how it all comes together, please join me. And if you like and subscribe and hit the bell, you will be notified when I go live. And I do that 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, all at 12 noon. All right, so now I'm just putting some plain water. So so I can put a little bit of the shadows in around the grass, like so. Under the deer. Just sort of let that move around. There we go. And then the last thing I want to do is I just want to add a little bit of color to the deer. Now in my area, the white-tailed deer gets a little more gray in the wintertime. It's still sort of a brown tone, but it has more of a leaning more towards the grays. So I'm just going to put a little bit of wash on my deer. There she is. Okay, so that's about it. I may come back in and add a little more color to the sky, but for right now, I'm just going to let this dry. There she is. Now this, the paper that I'm working on is the shimmery white paper, so it will take some moisture, but it won't take a lot of moisture, so I have to be careful about how far I go with the water here. So I'm using it very sparingly. If it were watercolor paper, I'd be a little bolder with the washes, but I have to be very careful with this. So that is the way the frontispiece looks so far. So basically it is the gold heat embossing for the line work that you see on here on the shimmery white paper, a little bit of a wash using the water-based inks and the water painter brush. All of these things are available in the online store, and I will post a list below that you can click on that will take you there with a few other things that I would recommend that you have on hand to do something like this. I'll be back on Saturday, 12 noon, to show you the finished assembled piece with the die cuts and all of the other embellishments that I'm going to add to this. Until then, stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you on Saturday.